Hello, I'm Mike as always, and welcome to a very quick episode of the Blue Corner, where I am going to give you quick reactions to the past week in mainstream MMA. Okay, first off, right off the bat, let's talk about the new champ, Daniel DC Cormier. The fighter who I told you guys in the previous episode was undefeated at heavyweight before his move to light heavyweight when he went to the UFC after a couple fights, with impressive wins over the likes of Frank Mir and Roy Nelson back in 2013. But his 13-0 turned into a 14-0 when, after Stipe Miocic, the basically on the books, the best heavyweight champion in the sport's history, based on the fact that he's defended it 3 times prior to this fight, seemed to be dominating the smaller DC, who still outweighed Stipe by quite a bit. He came in there very thick, and his speed wasn't diminished. His power was good. It's been great at heavyweight. You just look at the Bigfoot fight. Bigfoot coming over his win on Fedor Emelianenko. DC was the first guy to crack that chin. Well, at least on that level. Mike Kyle had done it prior, but either way. So Daniel Cormier, he goes in there. Obviously, the height was giving him trouble when he was trying to do the grind, as he likes to call it. Stipe had the advantage because of the height and the grappling, but while coming in and out of the clinch, Daniel clipped him with a short right hook, and that's all it took to drop the champion, and followed up with murderous straights to the chin of a down Stipe to force the referee to stop the fight. And now the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Cormier. It was a brilliant performance. Ironically, a true heavyweight, a long guy, Fabricio Werdum, a Junior Dos Santos, a who's who of the UFC heavyweight fighters, wouldn't have been able to get the finish because it required short arms to land this right hook while breaking the clinch the way he did to drop Stipe. So, I mean, kudos to Daniel. I mean, Brendan Schaub said recently on the latest episode of Below the Belt that it's hard not to consider Daniel the GOAT at this point. Only guy he's lost to is John Jones, and John Jones has been busted at least twice for steroids or PEDs, however you want to call it. It's Ranabol, clearly a steroid, less of a PED, but you know what I mean. Anyhow, though, I mean, kudos to Daniel. Then they have the whole pro wrestling shtick they did where Brock Lesnar came in the cage. He shoves him like fucking caveman, and DC tries to shove him back, and didn't really budge him at all. I don't know. I mean, everything I've heard is they're friends. It was a complete work. But, I mean, come on, Brock, at least act like you got shoved back a few feet. Put on a better show than that. So, I mean, it's kind of baffling, though, because the idea, I thought at least, was that that Daniel, if he won, would go on to wait until John Jones came back, who would then fight Lesnar, and the winner would fight Daniel. So then we'd get DC versus Lesnar, or DC versus Jones 3, the only way we could get it for the heavyweight belt this time. But the other fights of the night, Anthony Pettis with a shocker. Showtime Pettis gets his first sub since winning the belt against Benson Henderson by submitting Michael Chiesa with an armbar. Very impressive. And I mean, Pettis is the type of guy where he's just one more win away from being right back on the title mix. Not that he could really do much with it. I mean, he's a very diminished fighter at this point, but it's interesting nonetheless. Other than that, Mike Perry, the platinum one. I mean, he left the Platinum Princess, and now he looks like he knows what he's doing again. Training at Jackson Wink, he's got back to fundamentals. He looks fantastic. I had picked Paul Felder in this fight because I expected the same Perry that fought Ponzinibbio to show up, and he didn't. He showed up with great hands, not brawling, calculated. Felder's broken hand clearly played an issue. At one point in the first round, he tried a spinning back fist attempt that I believe landed on the elbow, and it definitely broke his hand, which he indicated to Duke Rufus in the corner in between the rounds 2 and 3. So, I mean, a very impressive performance by Mike Perry. I mean, I can't wait to see what's next for him. Personally, I'd like to see him take on the winner of This fight was at welterweight, so that's more of a question mark. Maybe he could move down a weight and take on the winner of Poirier and Alvarez. But we'll see. Oh wait, no, that fight is at welterweight. I believe. I got to double check. But well, either way, we're going quick here. So if I miss anything, I mean, you guys can forgive me this time around at least. I'll be sharp next time. Nevertheless, going further than that, so we got the champ, DC getting it done. We got Pettis getting the sub. And then we have the snooze fest. We got Derek the Black Lewis for taking on Francis Ngannou in what many are calling the worst heavyweight fight in UFC history, which is a hell of a statement, considering that all the fights were heavyweight back when there was no weight classes. All the guys were at least over 205, even though that wasn't like the mark. But Ngannou, poor guy. I mean, Dana White saying that, oh, he's all ego. You built the guy up to be all ego. He's knocking everyone's head off. Of course he's all ego. And then he fought the champ. He didn't train wrestling at all, and got wrestle fucked for a little bit and got beat down. And when he did clip Stipe, it didn't put him away in those fights. In that fight, unlike the other fights where Arlovsky, all these other ones, Curtis Blades, he didn't finish but still hurt on the feet very badly. Blades has got that great fucking I'm almost out but I'm not out chin. But Ngannou needs a sports shrink. There's no two ways about it. The guy's got such raw talent and ability. He's up there in age, but nevertheless, I mean, he needs a sports psychiatrist to reassess what to do. Like, hopefully everyone's overreacting and this is just a case of a guy going out there and getting a feel for it again after a very tough loss. First loss of his career. So maybe those 15 minutes were just him like saying like, can I still do this? And I mean, it's strange that he seemed to fear getting hit at all by the fact that he wouldn't engage so he could be counter-striked upon, because it's not like we've ever seen his chin challenged even in the Stipe fight. But who the hell knows? I mean, he seemed like a ball of self-doubt. I still look forward to his next fight either way. And hell, fucking Derek Lewis throwing switch kicks and jumping switch kicks. That's impressive for a fucking, a guy who's easily over 300 pounds after the weigh-in. I mean, that's some stuff right there. I mean, good on you, Derek. I mean, I know that Lewis has come out and said that he's 2 fights further from a title shot after that performance, but I mean, we all know he's got this lingering back issue, so that definitely played a part and slowed him down after the first round. But there's not a lot to say. At least it wasn't Kimbo versus Dada. Kimbo may rest in peace, no disrespect to the dead, but Kimbo and Dada 5000 is the high watermark in MMA, not UFC. Obviously, it was a Bellator fight. That's the high watermark for lackadaisical, boring shit show heavyweight fights. Other than that, well, everyone's surprised that Roundtree was able to KO Gokhan Saki on the feet. Saki's a kickboxer, people, come on. They're used to having that guard with the big ass 16 to 14 ounce gloves. In his first fight, yeah, it was no prize either. He didn't run through the guy. We're talking about a guy who's got age on him, wear and tear, and in his first fight against a so-so MMA fighter who may not still be with the company even, he went out there, got tagged a little, but still managed to put the guy away. This time around, not so much. Roundtree hits him on a counter left, I believe it was, and stiffens him up, hits the floor, follows up with some hammers. Game over. Saki hopefully will bounce back. I don't like the fact that, I mean, I was excited at first that he was in the UFC, but the guy really belongs in Ryzen or maybe one championship, someplace where they can have some more freak show-esque fights that he could possibly get in the UFC. Let's see, am I missing anything other than that? You have that one female fighter calling her training partner Vinny Magalhaes a little bitch for not giving him the deets on the fact he would be cornering her opponent. And unless I'm missing something, that's that's pretty much the entire highlights of the card. Up next, this coming weekend, we got Blagoy Ivanov versus Junior Dos Santos. Ivanov being the first guy to show the chink in the armor of Fedor, not in MMA, but in a Istanbul match. Also, we know he's tough because he survived a stabbing a couple years back at a nightclub in Russia. Or it might have been Bulgaria because he hails from there. It was a good card. It beat the shit out of the last one. I mean, Yoel versus Whitaker was the highlight of that, and this time around, it was good fun. I mean, and on the prelims, we got Paulo Costa, fucking looking amazing, setting up potentially a fight with maybe Perry, maybe so and so. There's so many options for the guy. Very interesting situation you got there. But either way, that was the rapid fire quick response to UFC 226. Up next, we got UFC 227 coming at you next month, early on in the month, first week of the month. I believe that's TJ versus Cody No Love 2. I'm going to have another episode up real soon after this one, so we'll get that all sorted out. But anyway, this has been Mike as always. One love, peace out, and stay excited because we're only a couple weeks away from Joanna having her first non-title fight in what feels like forever, but what in actuality has been just a couple years. So it's Mike as always. Peace out. Unknown experts. A lot of big stuff in the works. I shit you not. I'm not lying to you people. We're doing something big. Me and my boy Muka are sorting it out. And you guys are going to be impressed. Mark my words. One love. Peace out.